Welcome to HDTV. You're now rocking with your boy. Things are not going well for David Tepper. Yes, he's the richest owner in the NFL for the third year in a row, but all the money in the world can't buy the Carolina Panthers owner some positive press right now. Considering this report from the Boston Globe, Panthers owner and New Jersey native David Tepper is not making any friends in Charlotte. The Panthers in the town of Rock Hill, South Carolina, are pointing fingers at each other over failed plans to bring team headquarters, a retail center, concert venue, and more to the Charlotte suburb. The deal was announced in 2019. Shovels went in the ground in 2020, but the Panthers halted construction in March when they accused Rock Hill of reneging on a commitment of $225 million in bonds. This past week, the Charlotte Observer reported that Project is Dead South Carolina State Senator Wes Clymer equipped that David Tepper came to Rock Hill promising us Jerry Jones, and ever since then he's given us Dan Snyder. Being compared to Jones is one thing, but Snyder, who perhaps the most toxic owner in the NFL, yikes. Tepper, the former Goldman Sachs trader who founded Appaloosa, a hedge fund with its headquarters in Short Hills, lives in New Jersey for more than 2 decades before moving to Florida in 2016. He bought the Panthers in 2018 for $2.3 billion. Politico reports Tepper moved back to New Jersey in 2020. According to Forbes, Tepper is worth $16.7 billion. Thank you for relying, I guess, on their journalism you could trust. You could consider supporting them with a subscription. Michael Rosenstein may be reached at mrosenstein@njadvancedmedia.com. So you guys can talk to him about the story we're talking about now. Basically, to me, Jerry Jones, in my opinion, isn't a great owner. As far as marketing, he's a great marketing guy. He's a great guy when it comes to business and getting you money, but not really the guy to help your franchise succeed. Now, basically, Tepper promised the people in the community something that kind of hasn't gotten done yet. But hey, it happens. But the thing is, what are you gonna do? So, what are you gonna do about your football team winning games? Because that's what fans really want to see more. Because so far you've been horrible. You got rid of probably the franchise's the franchise's greatest quarterback or greatest player in general, in history. Which I would say Cam is he the greatest player? I would say so, but Julius Peppers is right there with him. I would say him and Julius. I would say him, Steve Smith, and Julius Peppers. Those three are your top three Panther players in the organization of all time. Period. And you got rid of one of them. Now you signed the coach for all this money. Now you're hinting at you're gonna try to go after what's his name? Sean McVay. I mean not Sean McVay, Sean Payton. So then you promised people you would bring concerts and things. I mean, it is what it is. But football wise, the guy so far hasn't been that good. He's been terrible to me. Christian keeps giving him bail. I'm not. I think he's a terrible owner so far. He's hired the wrong GM, and then he hired a coach for all this money, which is ludicrous. You're gonna have to pay this coach the next remaining years if you decide to get rid of him next year. So, okay. All right. The Cleveland Browns are still looking for a strong option to play opposite of Amari Cooper next season, and a trade for Jaguars wide receiver Laviska Shenault Jr. could be a strong option for the role. The Jaguars signed a pair of wide receivers this offseason to some hefty contracts, and Christian Kirk, 4 years, $72 million, and Zay Jones, 3 years, $24 million, making Chenault a bit more disposable to be dealt. Chenault, a second round pick in 2020, will count just over $2 million against the cap next season, which would make him a prime target for a team like the Browns. Cleveland has $27,722,501 of cap space remaining per over the cap, but still has some key pieces they hope to sign, like defensive end Jadeveon Clowney. Bleacher Report listed the Browns as a team that should take a look at what it would take to land Chenault, especially if they are unable to wrangle a receiver they feel can be an immediate difference maker through the draft. Cleveland may not land a receiver who brings immediate impact with one of its third round selections. Last year, the club selected Anthony Schwartz in the third round, number 91 overall, and he only caught 10 passes for 135 yards and a touchdown. In the event that Cleveland picks a defender at number 44, Barry can try to flip a fourth rounder, number 118, for Chenault, which would be a better pickup than a rookie midday through day two, which of course they didn't do that. While Chenault has been rumored to be a piece that could be on the move, Jaguars general manager Trent Balk shot down the idea. I don't know where that would even come from. We're high on Laviska. He does a lot of good things, Balk said this offseason. Obviously, at his size and his speed and the things that he can do, we've got to find ways to get him the ball. That's not my job. That's coach's job. So that'll be a great question for him. But by no means is the ship sailed on Laviska. Of course, actions speak louder than words. Sentiment Brown fans should understand, well, the team backed Baker Mayfield as their starter for most of the early offseason until they went all in on their pursuit of Deshaun Watson. And of course, Jarvis Landry is off the hook, and this is kind of an old story. So, and Landry, of course, went to the Saints. So, the Browns looking for a receiver. To me, the Browns had a the Browns could have got what's his face? The Browns could have got Jarvis Landry back. And they just let it go. But I mean, they still got Dominique Peoples Jones. You got Amari Cooper. You got Swartz from last year. They to me, why would you even get rid of Austin Hooper? I would have kept Austin Hooper on the team. You know, that's just me personally. I mean, I have no idea. So now, the NFL currently finds itself in multiple legal messes. What it says and does in one could become a key factor in another, as explained by Daniel Wallach of ConductDetrimental.com. An argument already advanced by the league in defending itself against the John Gruden lawsuit could undermine one of the defenses the league plans to make in the Brian Flores case. Specifically, the NFL plans to argue, per Wallach, that the league doesn't hire coaches and only teams do. As Wallach notes, Flores and the other two plaintiffs in the case, Ray Horton and Steve Wilkes, most likely will argue that the teams in the league are joint employers of head coaches. Proof in support of that conclusion could come from statements made by the league in the Gruden case. Specifically, the NFL has argued in Gruden's case that it didn't need to leak inappropriate emails sent by Gruden to former Washington President Bruce Allen because the league had the power to suspend or fire Gruden under the league's constitution and bylaws. If, as the argument in the Flores case would go, the NFL has that kind of authority over a head coach, then the NFL is a joint employer of every head coach. It's a wrinkle to watch as the Flores case unfolds, and if the NFL takes a position in that case that is inconsistent with one or more of the positions taken in the Gruden case, that would hurt the credibility of the league and its lawyers in the eyes of the judge presiding over the Flores case. To me, I don't think the NFL has a case against anyone. You know, they just got rid of in my opinion, they just got rid of John Gruden for no reason over an email that happened like how many years ago? Like you guys at, and this was when he wasn't a coach. And then Brian Flores, he was let go prematurely because he wouldn't take games and he wouldn't accept trying to bring in Tom Brady allegedly. So, all this stuff here is, BS. The NFL is always trying to find ways to get themselves out of a pickle, as I call it. And it's like, bruh, no, you're not getting away with that. Because you guys know dang well what you guys did, and you guys know dang well that the league isn't trying to move forward with black executives or black coaches. Hell, y'all not even moving with black owners. Now y'all trying to bring Magic Johnson in as a partner in purchasing the Broncos when you guys won't let a black man be a sole owner. You guys could have let Sean Combs, aka P. Diddy, be a lone owner. Why you didn't do that? Oh, because he ain't gonna be, you guys don't like him being at the table with you. It's cool to make money off of a black man, but it ain't cool for them to sit at the table with you. Right or wrong. Just saying. That's how it is. Now, Jerry Jones has done well in the draft over the last few years, particularly in the first round. Like many general managers, Jones does have misses too. The most egregious being Taco Charlton in the first round of the 2017 draft, taken with the number 28 overall selection. Charlton was selected 2 picks ahead of TJ Watt, a massive miss for a Cowboys team in need of an edge rusher to pair with DeMarcus Lawrence. Jones admitted to the mistake of the pick when explaining the Cowboys' process of draft selection, jokingly blaming the Charlton pick on his son Steven, chief operating officer and Cowboys executive vice president. Charlton wasn't brought up in conversations until Jones entered his name in the mix of recent first round picks. There's a lot of talk in this business about who makes the call, who actually makes he call. Jones told reporters Wednesday, Taco was Stevens' call, Parsons is my call. Obviously, Jones was joking about the Charlton pick, and Steven could do nothing but laugh. That's not that funny to me. Steven responded with a chuckle, going along with the joke as Jerry smiled across the podium. Charlton, who now plays for the New Orleans Saints, didn't exactly find the comment funny, but he had a great response to Jones via social media hours, later using a meme to essentially say thanks for the cash. Charlton lasted just 2 seasons in Dallas, notching 46 tackles, 4 sacks, and a forced fumble before the Cowboys moved on and released him. His stint with the Cowboys was one of the shortest for a first-round draft choice by the team in franchise history. Charlton has bounced around the league since playing for the Dolphins, Kansas City Chiefs, and the Steelers, earning $6 million and $981,170 with the Cowboys. Charlton can at least enjoy the fact Jones paid him for 2+ seasons. Outside of the money, his tenure with the Cowboys was forgettable for him and Jones. Now, listen, Jerry Jones should have hired him a president of operations a long time ago. Long time ago. But no. But no. They didn't want to do that. Right? You see, Jerry Jones wants to take credit for things, but never wants to take the blame for how he doesn't let the coach run the team. He doesn't let not only them not run the team. He doesn't let his people who are in charge of scouting, doesn't let them give him insight on anything. He just has them bring a list of people they scouted, and then he just goes with what he feels. So to me, Michael Parsons was lucky because they dropped down in the draft, and it's like they never had Michael Parsons on their list really until later. They didn't even think they were going to get him, right? So, that's just a little news around the NFL for a little bit. Let me know what you guys think about it. Thank you for listening. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share this. Hit the notification bell to select all to receive upcoming notifications. And if y'all love what y'all hear, y'all can go to the page, go to the description box, hit the link to the Cash App. You guys can donate whatever your heart's desire. And if you guys, we have the super thanks that works now, and you guys can super chat. Thank you for listening. We out. HDeezy.